You were like, let's make Vines together. We're funny together.
Yeah, well, I was making Vines before him, and he was always in my videos, and I was like, you have to get an account. And I like talked him into getting an account, and then he blew up on there. I was like, bitch, give me my account back. No, we started making all these videos together. Everyone thought we were together, but I had a boyfriend at the time, and he was just very much my best friend. And I always was like, he's such a good guy though. Like I didn't know it was for me yet, but I was like, he's gonna make someone so happy someday. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. That was so cute of me.
Yeah.
And I am so happy, but like, it's just so cute that I would joke around a lot and be like, I'm probably just gonna end up marrying Matt. Like I would say that shit.
Wow.
And then like I'm literally
Rachel.
engaged to him. And yeah, it's so crazy. But we did we were friends for a long time, and then I had a pretty sad, bad breakup, and he
comforted you?
Yes, but like by telling me he loved me, like he was like, well, I love you. And I was like, oh my God. And like he like wrote me this letter.
Okay, wait.
Wow.
I need details. Oh my God, I love the story. Okay,
I'll send you a picture of the letter. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so you had a terrible breakup and you were so sad, and he was like, don't worry about it, babe. I love you.
Well, it wasn't that simple.
Okay.
But it was like, hey, now's my chance to fill you in on my feelings for you.
Wow.
So when I was single, finally, he I don't mean finally like finally. I meant finally like he
for him it was finally.
Yeah. He was like, okay, well, now's my chance to tell her before she gets into another full-blown relationship, which was so me. I like dated people for like 2 years, 3 years, 2 years. Like I was always in like longer relationships. And so, yeah, he was like, I got to talk to you. And can we go to dinner? And I was like, yeah. I actually had a date that night, and I was going to go on a date, and he was like, I actually really need to talk to you. Like,
fuck.
And so I was like, oh my God, like he wouldn't mess up my date just to, I don't know. He had something to say. And so I was like, of course, like I would do anything for this human. So I was like, okay, I'm going to cancel on my date, which I did. And I went to dinner with Matt. And then he told me, he was like, it's so funny. Like at dinner, he was like, we went to Katsuya in the Valley, which is like a perfect place. It's like all bright. It's fucking so bright in that room. Like you're like, so anyways, he was like, I just like, we make Vines together. Like everyone already thinks we're dating. Like what a way to ask someone.
Stop it.
Like,
I'm dying. I love it.
He's like, we already like make Vines together. People think we're dating. Like, I think like people want us to be together. Like, why wouldn't we try? And I was like, is anybody hearing this? Like, what's going on? And I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, people, what? Like, I just kind of was like blacking out. And then afterwards, obviously, like that conversation went fine, but then we got back in the car, and then when he dropped me off at my house, he like gave me a letter that was the letter that like I was like, whoa, like, oh, he's in love with me. Like this
okay, so he didn't say I'm in love with you at the dinner?
No.
It was in the letter.
It was more a letter thing, I think. Like I'm trying to like put myself back into his gold Prius.
This is gonna be in a movie. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, I read it. I read it while we were in the car together.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. I think it was like it wasn't weird though. Like I was like, when you kind of like, you don't know how to say it, you need them to read it.
Okay.
Maybe.
She's
like, no.
I'm just picturing
this is
you
a
two
big
sitting.
deal for him. He spent 10 years in the friend zone. He's just
literally.
like, get me the fuck out. How do I do it?
But I'm picturing you two being.
Let's give the people what they want.
Exactly.
We should be together.
Exactly.
Let's do it for the people.
Come on. The
Oh
people
my
are
God. The
begging for
people
it.
are so
Meghan
happy.
Trainor shipped us 5 years ago.
I shipped you so fucking hard. I'm so happy. Okay, wait.
Dude.
So I'm picturing it just being like silent, you two in the car, and you're just like.
Oh my God.
I wasn't making that face. I started crying immediately.
Oh God.
And then I like looked at him, and he was like looking outside.
He's like, oh no, she's crying.
He's like, oh well,
These good tears.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
yeah, it was a very
So
emotional
sweet.
moment, but like it was
Okay.
it was like more sweet than it was like anything. And I sound like a freaking asshole when I tell this story, but I'm proud of
No, you don't.
myself because I went with my heart, which was I wasn't ready for our relationship yet. Like I knew that you can't go into this crazy ass friendship, like best friends, to then all of a sudden dating. You don't casually date your best friend. You marry your best friend or you break up and never talk again.
Ever again.
And I wasn't ready to lose him, and I also wasn't ready to get married. So I was just in this like weird moment of time where I was like, I have to like legit live my truth, which is be single and like figure out what kind of person I want, or figure out, is Matt my person, or figure out like what is going on. I was also heartbroken, so I was just kind of like in this whirlwind of like shit.
Okay, so then how much time did you take?
Like 4 years.
You took 4 after the letter was 4 years.
Waited for me. He waited for me.
Matt is a legend.
He's a
He loves the shit out of you.
He's a genius. I know.
Decades.
4
I love it.
fucking years.
I know.
He didn't date anybody else over that 4 fucking
years?
years?
He would like go on dates, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't.
But he would cry and be alone and be like, I miss Arielle.
Yeah. No, I mean, he definitely like he went on dates and stuff, but I know that.
Did you go on dates?
Yes, I like had a full on relationship. but it's so different. Like the reason why it couldn't have been that way. Like I couldn't. Like I said, casually dating your best friend is not.
You can't
the
do
vibe.
it.
Like,
Yeah, I could have fucked it up. It was too soon.
Yes, and like who am I to be like, let's just try, like in this horrible moment when like no, like I'm so glad we waited.
Okay,
And,
4 years later.
4 years later.
Bitch, this is the best
Maybe-
notebook story I've ever heard.
It might not
Okay.
be 4 years because that then I don't know, I'd be like 50 if that was the case. But it was probably like 3 years. We were going through like a friend fight kind of, and we were having like this weird moment. Actually, I know what it was. I'll just say it. He was probably mad at me just for like. Not mad at God. This is so hard to explain. He's
We
like,
edit anything you don't like.
Okay, cool. So
You say
He's
cut
just
that
like,
shit out.
Love me. Just love me.
no, it was like, okay, let me gather my thoughts because there's
You were
a
fighting
thing.
over some dumb shit, but deep down inside, it was just that he loved you so much.
Yeah, there was like that element of it, but where do I go with this? Hold on, because it is true, like what happened. But so we were having a moment where I think he felt like I was stringing him along. I was not stringing him along though.
Gotcha.
That's the thing. Like I was very clear with him. I like never was like, I love you, but no. Like I didn't do that shit. I was very transparent with how I felt and my feelings and everything. And then once I think he was like starting to be like, okay, I have to get over you. It was like he was forcing himself to stop talking to me, which I was like, well, this fucking sucks. Like he poor him. He's like, yeah, this fucking sucks. Like, but I think for me, I was like, I still want my friend. Like, I don't know. Anyways,
That's hard. That's hard for both of you. I get why he like. I'm surprised it's 3 years. Like I would have.
Oh, I give up so fast. I'm friend zoned. I'm like, see ya.
You're so gorgeous. Yeah, he like literally like blocks them. But like you're so gorgeous. I'd be like, I can't look at you. Like nah. Like how did he stay
Breaks
friends
my
with
heart.
you? Yeah.
I mean, I think because we worked so much together, like we couldn't not talk. So we had this like still friendship, but it was like. I felt like our friendship was fading, and that really hurt me. Oh, you got a dog. Okay, sorry.
Yep,
I'm like,
cute.
so I'm like
That's
squirrel.
Will.
This
Like
is
literal
Will.
squirrel. Is that a squirrel?
Yeah, she's a micro poodle.
Oh my God, I
Little
want.
baby.
Yeah, so I felt our friendship just like drifting, and that was so heartbreaking to me that I was like, oh my God, like I can't lose this person just because of some dumb shit. So I was like, I'm having a conversation with him. Basically, long story short, long story very long actually. I've been talking about this for
No, I love
45
it. I'm
minutes.
so into
It's
it.
an amazing story.
It
Thank you.
is.
Well, okay, so I have a purpose to go to his house this day. I go, can I come over? I really want to talk to you. So I go to his house. We sit in the garage because he has freaking roommates in the house, and we're like, where can we go and like be outside and be alone? So we like go, we like open his garage, and we're sitting in lawn chairs facing out of the garage. Like, what a moment. And we're sitting there, and I'm like, I hate the way our friendship is right now. Like, I hate it. I want to fix it, and I don't know how because I know what the problem is. I see the problem.
Yeah.
But I also know that like this isn't us. Like we can still let's fix it. Like what can we do, right? And to be honest with you, like the like baseline of kind of what I needed and what he needed was to kind of just hear sorry, like a real heartfelt sorry, like I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like I was leading you on, or I'm sorry if you ever thought this about me. I'm sorry. And we went back and forth and said sorry for a lot of shit that I think that we really needed to do. And like I felt this weight of like bleh, lifted off, and I was like, oh my God, I love you. And I like was like, oh my God, I love you. Like it was so weird. It was like an instantaneous feeling of like, I want to be around this person all the time.